Hi, my name is Anna Witter, and this is my presentation for CS230 on my project called BERT's Handwriting. I was testing whether adding BERT word prediction would improve the accuracy of handwritten text recognition. So, handwritten text recognition is a pretty well-established field, and BERT is pretty new, and BERT is trained on a lot of data that has pretty deep embeddings for each word, and so I wanted to see if BERT could think about what kind of word would fit in a sentence that handwriting text recognition just doesn't do. So my data was from the IAM handwriting database. It was black ink handwritten words on white background from a bunch of different people, and they were line fragments, so they were not complete sentences, not complete paragraphs. And I trained these first on a pretty standard handwriting text recognition neural network, which had a CNN followed by an RNN. And my RNN was a bidirectional long short-term memory RNN, which is specially designed for language and text recognition, as it stores sequential data and it passes the data forward and backward through the neural network. And my CNN was pretty standard just to do feature recognition. I was training my loss from the RNN using word beam search, which is a relatively new connectionist temporal classification method of training, which was basically word beam search, and it restricted the output of beam search to words that were in the dictionary. And this was essential because BERT needs words to make its prediction. It can't just choose words based on gibberish. It needed most of the sentence to make sense, and then it would predict words that were uncertain. And so to determine which words were uncertain from my HTR, my handwriting text recognition, I averaged the top beam score of each character in each word. So I would look at what was the best score for that character, whether it was the score that corresponded to the character that was predicted or not. And I also looked at the score that did correspond to the character, but it turned out that that didn't do as well as the top score, and this is probably due to the fact that I was using word beam search and not standard beam search. So once I had a method for telling which words were uncertain based on how certain or how good of a beam score they had gotten, I would then mask off that word and ask BERT to predict for me what that word should be based on what my dictionary was. And unfortunately, I did not find that BERT improved this model at all. It had only a 0.3% improvement with top beam score averaging, and I didn't really find any improvement to the actual model that BERT would give us. And I think that this is due to the fact that BERT was trained with full paragraphs of information to make a prediction about what kind of word would make sense, whereas I was giving it pretty limited data for the lines that it was working with, and often it would just make predictions that either were exactly what the HDR had predicted or didn't make sense. And so I think that in the future it would be really crucial to use paragraph input data for this sort of work, because I think that would access the full potential of BERT. Overall, I had a lot of struggle training my HTR, and I had a lot of difficulty finding a good metric for what would make an uncertain word, but I had a lot of fun and it was really hard, and I am a little disappointed that I didn't get any improvement, but I think I know why. And I hope that someone can explore this further and see if we can find out. Thanks very much and have a great winter break. Bye.